PAC has claimed he almost died in his AEW Revolution return video package. We've got backstage news on a returning Kyle O'Reilly, and a top AEW star is said to be taking time off following the pay-per-view. Stay tuned, it's time for the news. Saw a couple of returns last night on AEW Revolution. One via the medium of video package. During Revolution, a video package hyped the return of the forgotten bastard, PAC. Loads and loads of people talking about this, of course, but it's been a little bit overshadowed by the Sting news. It's great to see PAC is coming back to AEW. But one thing that I think people have missed and that we wanted to draw attention to was some of the wording in this video package. So it was shot once again in the Newcastle upon Tyne area, which is a small mining town a few hundred miles north of London. And he's there, he's outside Monument, he's on one of the bridges, I think it might be the Red Hugh, correct me if I'm wrong, I'm a southerner. And he said that he's like a cockroach, an indestructible little bastard. But then during it, he said, I almost popped me clogs, but I didn't. And then he finished the promo with, and doesn't it feel good to be alive? So this is interesting, and again, this could be a character thing for sure. But he's been away for an awful long time, and it's been very hush-hush as to what was up with him. Tony Khan at one point in August of 2023 in an interview with The Hollywood Reporter describing the reason that PAC is away as due to internal injuries, and also following his last match in AEW, which was July 26th last year, Tony Schiavone announced that he would be out of action for quite a while. It was never revealed what injury he was suffering from. Obviously, we're not going to speculate on what's up with him. We want to send him all the very, very best in the world. It's so good to see the bastard back. He has lost a fair bit of weight. He's still ripped, obviously.
Oh my God, he's never not going to be ripped, is he? At all. It's definitely been a glaring omission, I think, from the company as a whole for AEW not to see PAC there, because whenever PAC's in the ring, it's tremendous. I think we can all agree on that. We're just very enamored when he's on the screens, and this was a very, obviously it did feel character-like for PAC, the video package that we saw, but almost it felt like there was just little bits of just humanity and truth peppered in there too. My
personal feeling is you don't say something like, I almost popped me clogs without meaning it. I don't think you'd work that in, but again, that's speculation on my part. Whatever has been up with PAC, it's so good to see him back. Another person it's great to see back that we've not seen in almost, going on that way, 2 years is Kyle O'Reilly. I cannot believe it's been that long. He appeared at Revolution 2024 following Roderick Strong's international title win over Orange Cassidy, new champion. Congratulations, Roddy. Despite his ties with Strong, O'Reilly didn't seem to be aligned with his Undisputed Era alum. At first, he looked like he was like stalking Strong and then embracing, but then walking away. They offered him a t-shirt. He said no. He went out of there. There was a backstage video that got posted after the show where they try to interview him backstage and he just pisses off, just walks away. He has been out of action, can you believe this, since June of 2022. Neck fusion surgery. We've got some backstage news on this, according to a report from Fightful Select. O'Reilly was always optimistic about the return happening, but there were times during his absence when the company operated on the possibility that he may not have been able to return, something that they also felt, by the way, about the aforementioned PAC.
Wow, that's crazy. That really is crazy, because it feels like for the longest time as well, especially on the news too, we've seen like him put in updates about how everything's going, his rehabilitation, and him even saying like, feel like I'm ready to come back, I'm getting to that point again. And it always just felt like we're on the cusp of it, and then it never really materialized. But now, really happy to see him back. He was very emotional when he was sort of like eyeing up Roderick Strong. That felt obviously very, very character based, and then all of a sudden when he just realizes like everybody's cheering for him and everything, it's like, oh no, I'm really emotional. And then he hugs Roddy. It's a really nice moment. I mean, I'm intrigued to see where this goes character-wise for him and sort of his presentation going forward.
Well, according to Fightful Select, they do say that there's going to be a different direction for him. There's going to be other elements to his character. We don't know exactly what that means, but it doesn't look necessarily like he's going to be aligned with the Undisputed Kingdom lads. Yep. And more importantly, we also have an update on Bobby Fish. There haven't been any recent talks with Bobby Fish about a potential return to AEW. So it looks like Kyle may be off to do it on his own.
Which I think is...
Cool,
not
Kyle.
a bad shout, because I was thinking maybe we get some sort of like interaction between Cool Kyle and Orange Cassidy, because obviously those were the interactions. But that was the talk within the wrestling sphere. People being like, "Well, Cool Kyle's it's not Orange Cassidy, is it?" People comparing those gimmicks to each other. But I think that could be quite fun. But he was tremendous in that Owen Hart Cup tournament.
Yeah,
he was so good, and I think him. As a single star for a little bit would be not a bad shout.
For sure.
Yeah.
He's amazing, isn't he?
He really is.
Great to see him back. Also, a new AEW pay-per-view was announced last night. After the match between Samoa Joe, Swerve Strickland, and Hangman Page, it was announced that the next AEW will take place. AEW Dynasty, we talked about it about a month ago now. It was a new trademark filing for the company. Tony Khan very much alluding to the fact that that was indeed going to be a pay-per-view during last week's media call, and now it's been officially confirmed. It's taking place in St. Louis, Missouri on Sunday, April 21st, 2024. I like the name.
Yeah,
AEW
I like the name
Dynasty.
as well.
Get Tyson Kidd in there.
Yeah, get
nice.
Tyson Kidd. I think this is when's WrestleMania? That's at the beginning of April, isn't it?
Is it the 6th or the 7th?
Yeah,
It's
so
at
I
the
think
beginning,
that's fair enough time away for people to try and not compare the two sort of things.
Yeah.
I thought maybe they might do it around that time because, as me and Tom was saying on the news last week, usually WrestleMania time is kind of it's not just WrestleMania anymore. It feels like a celebration of wrestling as a whole. But I think if they'd have done the pay-per-view around that time, the people would have inevitably sort of tried to compare the two and pit them against each other.
It works for smaller promotions, doesn't it? But if AEW were to run very, very close to WrestleMania, I think it hurts the buy rate massively.
Agreed,
because people, it's WrestleMania. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Every wrestling fan in the world, pretty much, is going to want to watch WrestleMania. So I think that might harm it. So it's good to see it's a few weeks away. We've got an AEW rumor killer now. This was floating about as a really weird one, right? You might have seen on social media. It was floating about that Ricky Starks was a free agent and that he had departed AEW, hadn't re-signed with the company. Fightful asking around, AEW was saying that this is news to us, confirming that Starks' contract isn't up. He's still with the company. This was confirmed by Tony Khan during the post-pay-per-view media scrum. Starks is definitely under contract, so don't expect to see Ricky Starks pop up in NXT anytime soon. And we will finish off with the news that a top AEW star is going to be taking some time off.
Yeah, so after his loss at Revolution, Fightful Select confirmed that Hangman Adam Page is set to take time off. The expected length of Hangman's time off could be a few months, according to the report. Now, in the championship match, though, Hangman attacked two referees during the course of the match, and perhaps this sort of signals a storyline suspension on the horizon, which could be a way to write him off TV until he returns. But I was so hoping that we would have heel Hangman Page on telly very soon, rather than him take some time away. Obviously, as it says there, it could lend into storyline stuff, but I was so desperate for the heel turn to happen. It pretty much happened, and I was hoping we'd see more of it on TV. But alas,
absence makes the heart grow fonder. And when he comes back, he's going to be nastier. He's going to be especially horrible. Him and Swerve have had this unbelievable rivalry. Yeah. One of those guys, I would assume Swerve, is going to end up being the next AEW World Champion. As far as I'm concerned, I think that's where this is probably going. I don't have a problem with them taking a little bit of time away. I like the storyline suspension, if that's the way that they go with it.
I like it too, because I guess in that match as well, Swerve Strickland was sort of waving off any help from Prince Nana as well. So maybe Hangman goes away for a bit, you focus on this slow babyface turn for Swerve, and then finally when he does get the championship, that's when you get Adam Page back full-blown heel, just to jeopardize Swerve's AEW title run.
Or even cost him the win.
Oh!
Become champion. Well, I don't know. There's loads of sort of booking possibilities there.
There is.
It was an awesome night of wrestling. Fully encourage you. If you've not watched it, I know we've talked about some of the big results there, but if you've not watched it yet, it really was back-to-back, just brilliant matches last night. Props to Tony Khan and all of AEW for putting on a fantastic show. Obviously, punctuated by the retirement of Sting. You can hear loads about Sting in our first video if you want to check that out. What happened at also on the channel right now, and a reminder, I'm going to be live 9 p.m. tomorrow, kicking off WWE 2K24 My Rise. I cannot wait. It's the career mode if you're unfamiliar with the game. I'm going to be playing through all of that, starting things off on YouTube and then basically playing until I'm done. Some of it might end up on Twitch, but the first few are definitely going to be on YouTube. So I'd love to see you there. If you've got a free evening tomorrow, 9 p.m. GMT, yes, GMT, not BST,
no.
Over on YouTube. That's youtube.com/cultaholic/live. I'll go and set the stream up now so you can set a reminder. It'd be great to see you there. Take care of yourselves. In a bit.